Welcome back, good people of St. Anne's. This is episode 17. That's crazy.
We're almost at 20.
We're almost at 20. What's a third of a year? Carry the one.
I don't know what that. I don't know. A third of a. What do you mean?
Like 52 weeks. What's 52 divided by 3?
Oh, 17.
Yeah, it's close. 17's.
That's not true.
17's 51, so we're close.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, close enough. Almost a third of the way through the year. Thanks for journeying with us. 4th of July was last week. It was great.
Was it?
Great stuff.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, a lot of great. I saw a lot of great fireworks.
Did you?
I sure did. It was good. No, you didn't?
I did, but I just don't. I did it so much growing up. I just don't. I watched 10 minutes and I'd rather have a scotcheroo.
That's fair. As someone who moved from Colorado, who was pretty strict on fireworks.
Yeah,
it was pretty impressive.
No, but I love it because everybody has. I think we spoke a lot. Everybody has this like inclination to be with one another.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Fireworks is another example of like America didn't invent it, but they perfected it. Fireworks and fireworks shows do a good job. It's pretty impressive.
That'd be a fun topic. What did America perfect but did not invent?
Yeah, food.
But not today.
Most food. Yeah. Just kidding. All right. Speaking of food, let me do my annual. It's not annual.
He'll never get it weekly. And we can't go too long. Last week was so long. Never.
See, I mean, I've jokingly done this where I'm like, it would be funny if you just hit me with a flavorless one. This tastes pretty flavorless. So I'm going to say...
Just club soda. Seriously.
Blackberry pear.
No.
I have no idea.
Pink apple and lemon.
Oh my gosh. I would. One, I don't think I'd ever go apple.
Duh.
It just feels like, yeah. Now that you say that,
it's like the summit of. Can I just have apple or lemon? Pink apple. What's a pink apple?
I do like pink lady apples. It's maybe one of my favorite types of apple. I don't know if that's
delicious.
I don't know if that's what they mean, but anyway, I believe it's. I'm on the hot seat.
Okay, this is great. Yes. Ventus, drum roll. Top 7. Okay, no, be careful. Top 7 pet peeves of people at church.
Of people at church. Oh man, anytime there's clapping after church, like.
Okay. Wow, you're like right into it.
Yeah, anytime it's like, thanks so much. Like we got donuts and coffee after. I mean, it decides to St. Anne's because you don't make announcements. So
Never announcements.
Not allowed to clap for.
Except for this weekend.
Uh-oh.
We'll get to it though. It's a hot topic.
But yeah, so anytime there's clapping, like at the end of mass, or like the choir stops singing and people are like,
no,
beautiful. You're like,
never.
Just
don't. It's not about the choir.
No.
Or about the priest.
Sports jerseys at mass. Just don't think God cares. You're a sports fan.
These are so good. These are so good.
Not my favorite. When people are annoyed at other people's kids crying. Like, let them cry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, being a parent is...
I'm annoyed sometimes.
Yeah, I am too, but like, I've been there.
Yeah, so just
I've been the one crying before, so I get it. So yeah, just like when you get the people that got, like look back and are kind of like, hey, take your kid out. And it's like, no, there is a point where you do need to take your kid out.
Take your kid out.
When they're inconsolable. But sometimes kids are just...
Keep them in.
They're just noisy.
They're kids.
And that's okay.
They're kids.
I mean,
you hit those hard.
Yeah, those were easy. It's funny because this is one that we talked about: water bottles in mass, metal water bottles in mass.
Oh.
My kids bring water bottles, and I'm trying to work on it because you convicted me. But a pet peeve is when I'm like, okay, you can bring your water bottle, but you need to keep it in a spot where it's not going to get knocked over. And then like opening prayer, da-dong, da-doom, da-dee, and you're just like, now I'm that guy. So
it's 4. 3 more.
Anytime
pet peeves at church.
Like from the moment that the Eucharistic prayers start till I receive, like I don't want to have a conversation. And so there's have been churches I've been to where it's like it can get pretty social, or like if they have ushers that are like asking people out, and then they are like, like, oh, Luke, it's so good to see you. Like on the way to, I'm like, I
No.
actually don't really want to see you, right? Like I'm on my way to something bigger. So again, I want church to feel friendly and loving, but like that's not the time for me personally. Like Eucharistic prayer, I want to be locked in. Whenever I'll just say it. Whenever a song starts getting played and I go down to look at like the date that it was written and it's any time between like 1960 and 1980, it's like, nope, sorry. Not a great time musically for the church. You know, I don't want to hear this. Go make a difference. Okay?
Yeah, that's tough.
How many is that? Is that 5?
I think it's 6.
This one.
Yeah, one more left.
I have one more left, and it's spicy. I'm gonna say it, and maybe it can be a topic later.
Okay.
I don't like Eucharistic ministers.
What did that? Wow! I love how we just accelerate.
Just-
Water bottles to extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. Did you hear it? So those who are listening, and you're an extraordinary ministers, Luke does not like you. He doesn't like you.
That is not true. I am very grateful for the people that answer that call. I just think it's in the title, extraordinary. I just don't see anything. Most American parishes, I do not see an extraordinary need for that.
Yeah, same. At St. Anne's too. We don't need them.
Yeah.
But we have them.
At St. Anne's, and again, and then we can move on because this is not the hot topic. The communion rail is perfect. You need one priest and they just go down the line.
Yeah.
And maybe adds 5 minutes to communion.
Maybe. Probably not even.
And so I just think it came up as kind of, there was a need for it. I don't think there is in most parishes anymore. And my hands were not ordained or blessed, you know?
Yeah.
So I just think it should only be handled by you and the deacons.
There is a gentleman in the parish that's watching this that is doing jumping jacks for you right now.
Shout out to that person.
To that person, because he would be very identically minded to you. And let's do a hot topic on that.
Yeah,
not
I would
today,
love
but
to.
later on, because I think we have them.
Yeah.
But I would encourage you, right? So just like to be proactive. Folks, the extraordinary minister of Holy Communion thing, do we need them? I think what you need to do is call the pastor of the parish.
Yeah.
701-223-1549. Call the pastor and tell him what you think.
Yeah, I agree.
Of St. Anne's. Anyway, moving on.
St. Anne's, Father Hochhalter.
Yeah. I answer the phone once a month.
Yep. Maybe, hopefully more this month.
Yeah.
All right.
That
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Those first 3 came easy, though. You're right.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Warm topic.
Yeah.
By the way, it's super hot. It was hot this weekend.
It was hot this week.
But in a lot of ways, right, the announcement about the society, we're going to get to that. Society of Pius X. It was really good, though, to hear from our bishop. Yeah, but got spicy a little bit, but I was happy to read it. And I think those are things we'll get to it, but off topic is just his governance and his leadership. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's great. Because
he gave us direction.
Yep, which is perfect. Because people are talking about it. So
they are talking about it. You know what else they're talking about?
Bottled water. Now, okay, so here's the warm topic. And maybe it's just because I grew up, lived a little bit outside of town. Just all the water I drank growing up was straight out of the tap. You're thirsty, you get a cup straight out of the sink. You got a sports game, you get your water bottle, you fill it up straight from the sink, you're good.
Is bottled water sinful?
So is buying bottled water, fancy filtered water, your Dasanis, your Fujis, your what's the stuff you have in your kitchen? Pellegrino? I don't know.
You are unbelievable.
Is it a mortal sin, Father, or is it simply venial?
Well, first, can you get the knife out of my back and the tire tracks from running under the bus? Yeah, I have all kinds of fluffy water, and I have problems with that too. It's not a moral question.
No, it's not. No,
not a moral question.
Here's my
buy
real
it
take.
as much as you want. Yeah. It's not a moral question.
Here's my real take. I think, and we're gonna do this on a podcast at some point. I think if I lined up 5 glasses and poured in 4 fancy waters and tap water, I don't think you could tell me the difference.
Yeah. So in the fall, we're going to move into like praying before we begin. And then really the whole show will be human experience.
Great. I love it. Yeah.
Nothing catechetical, nothing evangelical. It's just going to be like human experiences, human experiments.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes.
That's when we really bring Father Colton in.
Yeah.
For the human experiment part.
Father Steiner will be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I too don't believe this is where it gets hot. I don't think there's a difference. Right. And so to you people out there, right, like, you know, does tap water like affect your body? Do you think St. Paul thought about that when he got a water from the river? So that's just like a little challenge, encouragement to those of us that like want it, like we don't want things in our kids' systems, blah, 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 blah. Don't be crunchy. Like St. Maria Goretti did not think about what kind of water she's drinking.
No.
Or what kind of eggs she's having, or what kind of milk she's having. So I don't need to go on into like farm raised or organic, but that's another hot topic. Yeah. So I hope none of you just shut the podcast off because I offended your eating habits. But come on.
Always discernment.
Yeah. Have frozen pizza tonight and be like Maria Goretti.
That sounds good. Maria Goretti was a big frozen pizza girl.
Enough with the organic culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then, why do you have it in your kitchen? I thought you were
raw milk.
Yeah. What's the cow? Is the cow's walking in the door right now?
Bessie. I have it because I like it for the sake of my like a natural pleasure.
Okay.
I like all kinds of flavors of water.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, my main intention. Then we got a break. My main intention with buying bottled water is people ask for it when they come to the rectory, and two, that's what I drink when I go to the gym.
Okay, you don't just bring a water bottle.
No, and in fact, I don't like the hygiene of a water bottle. Yeah. Judge all you want.
See,
but I don't like water bottles. I lose them and they get dirty. I'd rather just buy a 20-cent bottle of water and throw it away every other workout.
Recycle it, is what you mean.
Yeah, send it to China. Right. I don't recycle.
So this is none of what Father said is true. I've seen him at the gym. He's totally the guy that just has an empty milk jug with water, and it has the times of the day going down the side, and he has to keep up with the line. So don't let him fool you with this one bottle of water thing. He's an empty milk jug guy. I know it.
Milk jug.
He's got the like cutoff hoodie and the grip things. Yeah, very 80s at the gym. Yeah.
The shirt that says steroids. What's the problem?
Yeah.
That's me.
All right. I think we should probably take a break so we can get back on track. So we'll be right back. And we are back. So as you mentioned, Father, over the weekend at All the Masses announcement by Bishop Kagan addressing SSPX.
Yep.
Right? The Society of St. Pius X.
You got it.
Is that right?
That's right.
Not to be confused with FSSP.
Yes.
The Fraternity of Saints.
St. Peter.
The Fraternal Society of St. Peter.
Yeah. They're not local to North Dakota.
No. So again,
one's good, one's in union, one's not in union.
Yes, a good distinction. Now we could sit here and we could go through the whole background of how we got to this point, but there's plenty of great articles out there.
Really good ones.
There's probably a ton of other people that can talk on that. So rather than diving into that and adding more, to that, basically from Vatican II, SSPX didn't want to follow some of the rules, and it kind of has been a growing problem. And then now being not in union and now ordaining new bishops led to a schism. So these big words, schism and excommunication. So rather than, again, go through the nuance of how we got to this point, I think what would be good for us and for the people of St. Anne's is, so what do we do with it? So you get approached and people say, well, so the church really doesn't like Latin Mass because they kicked all these people out. And it's like, those are probably a lot of the ways we're going to get approached. And so I think it might be good to just kind of talk about, okay, so what do we do? How do we talk about this? Doesn't the church want to be unified? Why is this happening? Why did they kick people out? Is that actually what they did? What does excommunication mean? So that has a lot of questions, but I don't know if there's a certain starting point you want to go with.
Yeah, I think it's like a 15-minute segment. So for the sake of Omni Via, and really good question, I'm glad that we're going to go down the road of, rather than the history, which I think there's a lot of good out there.
Yeah.
What do we do now, right? Like July 2026. So maybe just hopefully a couple of like takeaways, and maybe we can develop those in a short order. So number one takeaway is Jesus prays for unity in the church. And so we throw it around a lot, I think too much. I'm gratified when I'm with friends, family who are not Catholic to in an encouraging way, not an arrogant way, but every day at Mass, we pray that we're one.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. So while I think sometimes we come across as being exclusive, and I'll get to that word in a little bit, interestingly, we're the ones that have the narrative, the words, and the actual devotion of, no, the church really wants us to be one.
Right, right.
And so there's probably a handful of actual scripture passages, but I encourage it, and you've heard me speak about it before from the pulpit, from the ambo, but I give it as a penance often as John 17. So just to the people this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're watching Omni Via, and to you, Luke, John 17.
John
so
17.
John's gospel, and his 17th chapter, it's called the High Priestly Prayer, but it's this beautiful prayer. Oftentimes people think the Our Father is the only time he prays, but in fact it's not. In John 17, it's this long, beautiful, deep prayer that needs a lot of, I think, prayer and study. But he's very clear in there. He wants all of us to be one.
Right.
And at Masses, we say those words that we're all one.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
And I think too, like, right, I think sometimes in today's culture, unity and tolerance become this same thing, and they're not the same thing, right? Tolerance is like, okay, like, we disagree on this, but we can still be friends. Like, that's different than unity, which is we're all under the same banner of Christ.
Yeah, very good.
And that requires sacrifice on the part of everybody involved.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to make that kind of distinction of just like, it's not just, unity isn't just we're all getting along, but it's actually that we're all together in the same, belief in Jesus and his church.
Yeah. And I think that's really, I think that's, like in a really pedestrian way. Like if I'm with I had a great conversation about the neighborhood with a neighbor last week. And, it was interesting because I was kind of complaining about the heat. Mm-hmm. And the neighbor was welcoming it because of a number of things like a garden and the person's used to warm weather. And so it brought the person back to childhood memories. Yeah. The point is, like, that doesn't have to get in the way of our friendship.
Right, exactly.
And it's benign, right? It's the weather. Like, this person wants it hot. I don't want it as hot. But the point is, with the church, that shouldn't get in the way of how we treat people. Mm-hmm. But what happens, I think, Luke, and you'd appreciate this, I think what happens in the pews and what happens in your heart and in my heart is this idea like, well, it doesn't matter. Like, what if can we just, and it really, really does matter.
Yeah.
And it's not about people all being Catholic.
Right.
What we're after is that we all think like Jesus does. Mm-hmm. And we can say with authority, the church is the mind of Jesus on earth.
Yes. Yep.
And so that's what's really important about, so to go back to the church being one, Jesus does not want 30,000 groups. We can say that.
Right.
We can say that Jesus does not want all of these communities in Bismarck. We can say that without being offensive. We can say Jesus does not want, XYZ of non-Catholic communities. We can say that. Mm-hmm. And we have to be okay with that. And so in the case of the society, it was a group of bishops saying, don't think like the church. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to do something that the church doesn't think is good.
Right.
And that was the ordination of bishops just a couple of weeks ago. And so that puts them outside of the mind of the church. Right. And we use that title, excommunication and schism. Mm-hmm. Is that helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, because excommunication, we've seen that got thrown around, with politicians sometimes, and a lot of it is, really what excommunication is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it's just letting someone know, like, you have publicly and adamantly made choices or proclaimed something contrary to what the church believes. So you are not welcome to receive the Eucharist, because by receiving the Eucharist, you and I, and this is, I think, good food for thought for us as well. Like, every time we receive the Eucharist, we're proclaiming through that action that we believe that we believe it's the body, blood, soul, and divinity of Christ, and we confirm everything that the Catholic Church believes and teaches. And so every time we go and receive the Eucharist, we're reaffirming our baptismal promise, all that stuff. And so if you're not actually living the life of a true Catholic, or I mean, in this point, just a true Christian, then the church, in a lot of ways, for our sake, would say, stop receiving something that you don't actually believe in.
Yeah.
And sometimes, right, we all know this, sometimes unity comes about through correction. Hey, you're not doing something right. And I've tried to tell you, I've tried to ask you to do it right, and you're not listening. So guess what? You're in timeout. Like, it's Catholic timeout. That's a really, really silly way to put it, but that's kind of what it is.
With supernatural,
of course,
consequences. Yeah. And so I really appreciate you saying that, because I think that could be, I don't think it's really hot or warm. I think it's just good teaching. And a lot of us priests, including myself, could say more about how when we receive Holy Communion on Sundays, we are saying, I believe and I think like the church does. Mm-hmm. And so this is why our non-Catholic Christian brothers and sisters don't receive and can't receive. And so, to go back to the society, what do we do now? Well, we should always pray that we're all first one, because Jesus wants us one. And number two is so to the point of like consequences, right? Every other vein of life has those, right? So when I go to I preached on this. When I go to the mechanic, and he tells me, "Hey, Father, your oil level's getting low, and that's affecting the health of your engine." I can't say to him, like, "Oh no, I don't think it does that. Right. I'll be fine." I can't go to the dentist and say, "No, I don't believe in flossing my teeth, and I'll be fine." So I encourage the people, as I said this weekend, Luke, is we have to come to a realization with our faith that there is an objective truth to this. Yeah. And the church gives us that. So it's not fine when we disobey. Right. We're not equal. You can believe what you want to believe, but there's belief that's true and belief that's false. Right. And we believe that heaven is real and people go there when they follow the truth. Right. But we also believe, because Jesus believes it, that if you believe in things that are false, that go against him, you'll go to hell. Yeah. And I don't think that's conveyed. I think we hear that and it's really hard for us to hear. And so we kind of like shut it off, or we're thinking like, as long as we're nice, we kind of go to heaven. And that's just not what our Lord taught. So yeah, I hope that's helpful in terms of like, I really appreciate the consequences of this. Yeah. Is that it's not fine. Every action has consequences. I go out without shoes on, my feet could get cut. Yeah. That's a consequence of no shoes, right?
The example I thought of as you were saying that too is like, okay, if you speed, you get a ticket. If you speed again, you get another ticket. If you keep speeding, at some point you're going to get your license taken away. And that's, I think, a good example of kind of what's happened with SSPX. Great. Yeah. It's like, hey, can you please stop living in error? Like, all right, here's a ticket. Okay, at some point, you're obviously not going to stop, so we need to take away your license. And I think another important thing is like, so if I'm driving, it's like, well, my family's they're not the ones that are speeding, but they are in the car, and so it does affect them. But so members of SSPX, or if you've ever gone to SSPX, like, you didn't do anything wrong. I don't know for sure now though, like, you can't go to an SSPX mass anymore, right? Because now it's schismatic.
You shouldn't.
But so that's another area of just praying for anyone who's involved in the society.
That's exactly right.
Again, the leadership has made these choices and has incurred these consequences, and now it's affecting people who didn't make those choices but are still receiving the consequences, and that's part of life too, right? Yeah. But I think just praying for the society, and then for us, I think it's a great reflection on exactly what you said. Like, am I living a kind of life that is worthy of imitation, and that is leading people to the ultimate truth, which is that we're loved by Jesus, and he created a church to help us love him more.
And Luke, you probably have had this like in family or friends. When like, and I don't make light of it, but when like grandpa or grandma or dad has like a heart attack, right? Or like there's some health concern, that kind of like, this happened because of this. Like there was, right, if it was consequential. Right. I'm not saying something like cancer or something like that. I'm saying like because of smoking or fatty foods or whatever it was. And there's this kind of like, what raises up is like, no, we kind of all want to get better to like more sleep or a better diet. I prayed this weekend that really happens at St. Anne's, is that we take things more seriously this way, that there is supernatural, there's eternal consequences for what we believe in. And I want it to go both ways. Like, we should carry around like this idea that hell is real and people go there.
Yep.
But what should motivate us is that heaven is real. And I have a God who invited me to supernatural life with him.
Yeah.
So I need to think about that more. I shouldn't take it for granted. Like, I should think about that more in my daily life. And so that's what I hand on to the people today is like, we need to learn about these things, but I hope if there's like a scare in us or like there's a movement in us of like, to be motivated by, what I don't want, but also what I do want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it reminds me of Venerable, soon to be blessed.
Yeah, Sheen.
Fulton Sheen.
So
He's always
good.
said life is worth living. And I think,
well said.
And I think as Catholics, like, we have to believe both sides of that life here on earth is worth living because this is where God has placed us, but it's worth living oriented towards the next life, which is way more worth living, right? Like, and I think, I just think you're right. Like, I think we have to have heaven on our mind. And it's hard because, if I truly had eternity on my mind, like, I wouldn't do a lot of the dumb stuff that I do day in and day out, right? Like, I wouldn't scroll through endless sports and all this stuff. So
the 10th World Cup blog that you're wasting your time on.
Well, now that the U.S. is out, I don't care about soccer anymore. So that's not true. It's still been good. But yes. So
the people are like, why is he getting a device out?
Yeah.
You know why.
You know why. Because it's time. So that was good. Please.
I hope that's helpful. We're probably not done yet, but pray for unity.
Pray for unity.
Right. And let's be a little bit more sober about our faith that like it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. Sober, not stuffy, though.
Yeah.
Find that balance.
Yeah, very good.
All
Ready?
Right. I'm ready.
So the examination of nonsense.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
What kind of music do you listen to when you drive?
Ooh, when I drive, if it's just me, it's a lot of like Christian kind of pop. If it's with the kids, it's similar. If it's with my wife, the variety gets less. She likes a lot more kind of mellow music.
Okay.
I like 250 beats per minute, EDM.
EDM. Okay.
Yep.
What favorite title of our Lord, either by way of private or public revelation?
The Good Shepherd.
Love
it.
Would you rather ride a bucking bull or a saddle bronc? Horse or a bull in a rodeo?
Ooh, a bull for sure.
How often do you shave? It includes trimming. I don't mean like shave this off. I mean, how often do you like trim your facial hair?
I do the down the neck usually once a week, and then the beard. I mean, it could be anywhere between a couple of weeks to 6 months, depending on how.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going to incriminating questions.
Yeah.
How often do you floss?
I floss every night, and I regular floss and water floss.
Okay, so now let's get a true answer. How often do you floss?
Well, my sister-in-law is a dentist.
Oh, really?
But definitely not watching. So maybe maybe.
What do you want Leo XIV to do next that will affect your life? That's probably much. I know. Hey, hurry, man! It's the
come to a Larks game in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yes.
No,
that would affect your life.
I want him to. He addressed AI in his latest encyclical. I've read the first 16 paragraphs. Great stuff. I would just love him to continue to really lean into how do we as Catholics deal with emerging technologies.
AI.
Yeah.
Have you yelled at your kids and then later realized you were in the wrong?
Oh, daily? What? Hey, where's that thing? Daddy, it's on your head.
Four sets of mysteries, 20 mysteries total. The Rosary. What's your favorite? Not set. The single mystery.
Proclamation of the Kingdom.
Do you pray the Rosary? This is funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Would you rather go to the moon or go to the deepest trench of the ocean?
The moon.
If you could have any exotic animal as a pet, what would it be?
Ooh. A peregrine falcon. I don't know. Is that exotic enough?
I would say it's a falcon.
Yeah.
Do you have falcons? People?
Peregrine falcon.
It's exotic. If you could pick any male saint after the first century, who would it be? To be.
after the first century.
Yeah, like to be. Like you want to be him.
I want to be him. St. Philip Neri.
Yes!
Shave half my beard, wear my clothes inside. I don't know what's stopping me.
That's a good end.
Yeah, that is a good.
Philip Neri.
I don't know what's stopping me. I could be doing that. I could be shaving half my beard off and calling out cardinals. Well, maybe not that part. Yeah. That was good. Wow, that was quick.
But they were good questions.
They were
weren't
good
they?
questions.
I'm
yeah.
insecure because he's so creative and I don't
No,
have that.
no,
That
it's
took me
good.
4 hours.
Oh, stop it. I hope that's what you did. The whole retreat was just preparing.
And then did you find that, was that good?
Yeah.
Immediate feedback.
No, it was great. I liked it. Yeah.
Anyway, episode 17.
How often do I floss? That's good.
No, the rosary. Do you pray the rosary?
See, okay,
That's good. It's good humor.
No,
Laugh.
it was-
Don't
it
be
was
so
good.
stuffy.
Good people of St. Anne's, as you pray for SSPX, also pray for me. I don't pray the rosary as much as I should. It's hard. It's hard with a family. No excuses, though. I need to do it more.
Yeah. This isn't a public confession. But what else did you do this week that wasn't in God's
Let's see.
End it.
So, pray for unity. Pray for us. Pray for yourselves. And again, just live life and enjoy it. Put heaven on your mind and seek the good things of the Lord.
Amen.
Until next week.
I like that ending. Until next